Welcome back to What's the Juice at the Juicy Tea 1111 Energy. Thank you so much for the likes, the shares, and the subscribes and tapping in. I am truly grateful. Okay. Somebody, you're good at what you do. So just go on and woosah, because then what came out is I feel like there's no limits to your boundaries when it comes to your creativity here. Take it how it resonates. Okay. But before we tap in too deep to the message, let's bring in our protection. At this time, I call upon the divine light to surround me. I invite my guides, ancestors, and protectors to stand with me. No harm, no deception, no lower energy may enter this space. Only what serves truth, healing, and highest good is welcome here, and so it is. Ashe. Okay, family. So, yes, I feel like you're good at what you do. So, woosah. Something about, just take your time, okay? Build upon your creativity because there's no boundaries here. Okay? Tell me more, Spirit. Yeah, you could be feeling anxious though, okay? You could have been feeling anxious, especially if you've ascended, you've gone through another portal. Yeah, you've been feeling anxious pertaining to something here that, you may feel like others are envious of, okay? This could have been heartbreaking to you, but you saw the risk. You saw the risk. Okay, you saw the risk, you saw the opportunities, and something about keeping yourself safe. Okay, and these are the signs. This feels like something you're protecting, all right, or you want to protect. Okay, I keep picking up this energy like somebody needs you to help them in something, but they're taking it versus asking for it because that's just their energy. They don't know how to ask. They feel like they deserve it anyway, kind of energy, okay? And you can pick up on that too. You've awakened to that energy for whoever this message is resonating with. And these are the envious people around you, or envious energies, okay? Something about their creativity not being boundless like yours, okay? And this is where the balance comes in, because you have to balance out what it is that you're tapping into, because you've been there, done that before. The risk opportunities, and what precautions to take when it comes to your safety. See, because somebody here, you may be coming back from hitting rock bottom. Spirit saying woosah, because you good at what you do. Okay, somebody could be looking at it like, dang, they hit rock bottom, and you still gonna do you. It's okay. That's the energy. Tell me more. Yes, because these were people that, listen, responsibilities came out in the reverse. Okay, so I feel like these are people right here that didn't realize something when it came to how responsible you were. They could have been wanting you to hit rock bottom, not realizing you're just a responsible energy. You like, okay, what goes up must come down, and you got that down. So you like, okay, next. So, I feel like a lot of people weren't responsible in handling you as well, or handling a situation, or they just weren't responsible when it came to them, taking accountability for their own failures and stop trying to blame other people. Because no matter what, you be staying hopeful. Okay, this has a lot to do with your superpower. You have a very hopeful energy. You know how to woosah when you go through things. Somebody did not see that responsibility in you. They didn't see how responsible you were, how nurturing you are, not just to others, but possibly even to yourself. More nurturing to yourself, for you are thy keeper. Okay. What's these limitless boundaries here? People could have been crossing boundaries. I just heard, yeah, see, you're a risk taker. That's why it's over there. Okay. You will take risks. Okay. Not the kind of risks that are detrimental though, but you be taking them risks because you already know what time it is. Shoot, people that never took a risk or a chance in their, or stepped out on a limb of faith in their life, they never ended up, maybe I heard that. Elevating to their full potential. Mm. Yeah, and then that's the why. That's the whole why about the situation. Okay, somebody could be wondering why you are boundless, and it's because you're willing to take the risk. But somebody's like, well, why take the risk? And you're like, shit. Well, how else are you gonna take care of yourself? Like, a lot of people used to ask me, well, what made you start reading cards? Well, shit, once can't get a job because motherfuckers have, ooh, did I tell you I cuss and curse? Yeah. Because motherfuckers have painted you out to be something that you're not. That's all you have is your creativity. So you could, listen, I feel like you are a songwriter, a book writer, okay? You're a poet. Okay. You can be somebody that is very tapped into the arts. All right. And like, this is fine art. Okay. You could be a painter. Okay. You could write a book, but you had to tap into your intuitive side. Some of you have always been intuitive. You've always been that person that could warn everybody about, hey, a situation kind of energy. So you tapped into where you were spiritually guided. Hmm. Some people, they could have become defensive about it, right? Oh my God, well, okay, well, that, shit, okay, they just ain't a part of your life anymore. Somebody wants to know, dang, that was such a gamble, weren't there any boundaries? They could be looking at that, but see, here's what you knew. This had everything to do with your truth and happiness and your freedom, period. Hmm. See, they were defensive about the path you chose that led to your truth, okay? Your happiness, okay? And your freedom. People were very upset at the path you took. Well, they're just not in your life. That's that simple. Okay? Because, who was gonna come through for you besides the divine? Because instead of people coming through, they was just having a whole bunch of to say. Hmm. They were like, oh, these were desperate measures. No, they weren't. They were divinely guided measures. But this is how they looked at it. They were like, oh, why? You must be desperate here. This is how they were looking at that. Oh, they did this because they were desperate. No, you did it because you was guided to it. It's innate. Yeah, it's innate. And it was needed. You may not be a needy person, but it was innate and it was needed. These energies could be needy. Okay, they could be needing your energy. Okay, they need that energy where you're going to respond to everything that they had to say negative, or they were going to be able to put you in some sort of kind of mood to like bring you down. They needed that. But what you really needed was the love, and that's what you started showing yourself is love. Despite what these people were expecting. Yeah, these people could be on drugs and alcohol real heavy now, okay? Somebody's wishing that they did better by you or did right by you. I wish I could be a different person. You could have been dealing with somebody where this was affecting them. The drugs and the alcohol, that was a risk. Somebody could have, I can't think of the word right now. Relapsed. Thank you, Spirit. Somebody could have relapsed after they left you, or you lost you, or they could have, gotten back into some sort of toxic behavior. Okay. Whoa, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, it is all too much, right? So with this, it is all too much flipping out in the reverse when it came to, responsibility. That wasn't too much for you. There was not a question in your mind when it came to the why. You knew the why. It was like you were already divinely guided. You were already intuitive. You've always been spiritual, but you know, you just didn't know on the magnitude. Some of you didn't. Don't come in here talking about I knew. Oh, okay, well, fine. You know what I mean? Type energy. I'm gonna cut that short right now. Okay, but yes, it hurts so much, right? Somebody, you know, it hurts them to see just how much you've matured and grown. This is what I'm getting from that energy. And this is somebody that always tried to, you know, throw those jabs, I feel like. Yeah, you were right. They know you were right the whole time. Mm-hmm. You got somebody out here who's also in their energy, you know, will you leave me like the others? This is that needy, okay? This needy energy out here is thinking, you know, will you leave them? I don't know. This is somebody does not want you to actually like leave them. Whether it's in an emotional, energetic way, a relationship, because no one understands me but you. That's it. Somebody did not want you to leave them because no one understood them but you. They're needing you. Yeah, the passion I feel is overwhelming. I don't know how to handle this, but that came out in the reverse. So somebody is they don't have any issues. They're wondering why they don't have any issues. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like why you're not overwhelming to them. Because normally maybe your energy would have been overwhelming to them, but they are at peace with you. Okay. Yeah, I have to let go. They had to let go to find themselves. They couldn't handle your love, and the feelings are eating them alive. Ooh, wait, here's a lot being said. Yeah, somebody up here is like they may have, you know, taken a whole gamble on risking their life for you. Interesting. Why was I gonna say that? Yeah, so they felt like they lost themselves. They had to maybe take a time out, okay, because they couldn't handle your love or they couldn't handle your love, period, okay? I'm also picking up they couldn't handle your energy too, okay? Because you have one of those like boom energies, you know. Okay, and the feelings are eating them alive, like what they feel for you. And this could have others envious. Yeah. Ooh, I am scared of rejection. So somebody out here is scared of rejection as well. Or it makes them feel uncomfortable. It makes them feel like, you know, they're not manly enough. What? Really? Where I hear that? Somebody may feel that, you know, rejection makes them feel not manly enough. Oh, why, spirit? So they could be afraid of rejection here. I don't know where to start. So sometimes they don't know where to start when it comes to, you know, possibly expressing themselves, or they're learning. They're starting to learn where to start. And yeah, why I can't tell you the truth. They're hiding something deep. Yeah, I can't make it up. And it's a man. Listen. There is a man out here who I feel like is, you know, emperor energy. I am picking that up. They are definitely emperor or hierophant energy. And they just can't seem to, you know, it's like your energy, your love, how you love, or you know what I'm saying? Maybe you're just this free loving person. When I say free loving person looking at freedom here, it's just like you know already what will, you know, what's supposed to be is going to be. These are things that you can't control. You know what you can control, and then you know what you can't control, and you know you can't control some of the things here, so you're not even trying to control it. You're going with the flow. You're letting things, you know, flow as they go. And somebody may not be used to that. They're used to kind of forcing things, I think. Yeah. I can't come to you now. Yeah, that's that energy. It's like this is the energy that does things when they get ready. They move how they want to move, when they want to move, who they want to move with. Okay. Hmm. Tell me more. Yeah. Cultural thing. It's just a cultural thing. Cultural differences. Somebody could have had some sort of misunderstanding, or they had different values than you, or a different lifestyle. Yeah. But they are observing something here. They're observing an epic comeback here. It says, yeah, you're bouncing back stronger after a setback. Somebody is seeing that. They're watching that. What was already turned over? Something about this lip service. What came out behind that? Yeah. And how lies unraveled. Okay, so somebody could have, I just heard that. There could have been somebody that knew, that, or there could have been somebody here that was saying something behind closed doors, right? And maybe you proved them wrong with this epic comeback for whoever this message is resonating with, and the lies were revealed. Okay, they're starting to realize that they was getting a lot of lip service from people. People could have just been like saying something to say something. Now they're realizing that you could be their love language here. Okay, understanding how to express and receive love. Okay, somebody could have found the key to your heart, or they found the way to unlock the secret codes to get to your heart. Somebody's been studying you. Yeah, they know they made a bad investment on somebody or something. Yeah, they made a bad investment on a lot of people who had double standards. What's all this? Yeah, when it came to a rising star on the rise. So somebody knows they made a bad investment. With a lot of people, to me, that feels like they judgmental. They are the ones that want to determine who rises, who falls, and stuff like that. Somebody knows that they made a bad investment when it came to a rise, with this Phoenix. Where is it at? Yeah. Because somebody could have bet against you, could have said something like, you know what, this person right here, I don't know. I feel like this is a group of people. I heard the gatekeepers. You know what? The other night I was watching a movie and I saw somebody say it here on YouTube, and then I did come across the movie that referenced the seven silent brothers or something like that, or the silent brothers. That's what it said, the silent brothers. I went, yeah. That was the cosmic nudge right there. So some of y'all could be resonating with that portion of the message, okay? There's something here that maybe you have attracted the attention of a specific group of people, and they did want to test you. Yeah, they wanted to see if you had a solid foundation. You've attracted a specific group of people that wanted to see if you had a solid foundation. That was that cosmic nudge. They wanted to really see your hard work up close and personal or something like that. They wanted to see if you could get back up after a fall too. Yeah. And there were some unwelcome guests, okay? You dealt with some unwelcome guests in this fall. Yeah, but this did bond, forge some sort of respect here, okay? If they're not a friend, they could be somebody that respects you, okay? But there is a strong connection that is built through shared struggles here. So there could be many that, have watched you fall and come back up. And, some of them were welcome, some of them were not, but there is some sort of respect here. Take it how it resonates. Yeah, at the bottom of the deck, damn, you could even have respect from authority here now. There's some sort of change that's, giving orders like, really? It says there's some sort of change when it comes to giving orders, or there's someone that is in charge giving orders, okay? There's a strong presence, okay? Has an upper hand in a relationship and a dominant personality. You could be coming across as this authoritative figure now. Take it how it resonates, okay? So I think I'm going to leave that message here. Hopefully it brings you some clarity, some peace, some guidance, all right? Let's get ready to close out. Whew. At this time, Divine, I release the weight of the deception and betrayal. I stand rooted in my truth, and I call back my power, my light, and my peace. I am whole, I am becoming, and so it is. Ashe. And until next time, y'all have a wonderful day. Ashe.